We live, baby. We live. We live, baby. We live. Who am I? Just kidding. All right. So this is for real. This is for really real. And yesterday, shout out to all my new subscribers, showing love. Shout out to all the love. You know what I'm saying? And even all the hate too. You know what I'm saying? Because in the end, you still here. You still watching me. You continue hating to watch. So, but this is not all about that. I'm strictly here to talk crypto education. To talk crypto education today. Yesterday, I got into some very basic, very beginner intro to the crypto. Now, you know what I'm saying, I get excited about the way more advanced topics. So today we're going to talk about an advanced topic. And a lot of these concepts are going to sound, especially if you're new to crypto, a lot of these concepts are going to sound brand new to you. But just understand that you will get it, and I will explain it in a way for you to get it. So, and sometimes you have to learn, sometimes people are better learners when they learn the hard way, when they actually learn the hard way. Some people don't like learning the easy way or taking the easy way. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can pull myself up on here. There we go. All right, cool. There we go. All right, so I just want to, I'm still figuring this shit out. All right, so today we're going to talk about some advanced topics, advanced concepts, the target difficulty and difficulty retargeting. We're going to talk about a hash. We're going to talk about a nonce, and we're going to talk about the proof of work algorithm and how that all means and what it means. And this is what gets me excited, is explaining these very advanced concepts, but like putting them in like real street terms, like where like street niggas can, like, oh, that's all that is. And you're like, all right, so let's get into it. I'm gonna start off by saying what is the difficulty retargeting in Bitcoin? Whoa, that's crazy. What is the difficulty retargeting? Now, the Bitcoin network balances, it's literally a work of art. Like once you study Bitcoin, you're gonna be like, this is some very impressive stuff. So it balances itself out. No person, no central authority does this. The software does this itself. So so on average, a new Bitcoin block is mined every 10 minutes, on average. Every 10 minutes. That's based on the protocol. That's based on the consensus algorithm. So, and the miners, they're racing against each other to find the next block. Okay, so we're gonna get into there. Take your time, take your notes, get out a pen and a pad. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go slow. We're gonna get through this together. So for the Bitcoin blockchain itself, a new block is mined on average every 10 minutes. Write that down. That is crucial, because when you start talking about this information, people are going to know that you really know what you're talking about. You're not just like, oh, blockchain this and blockchain that. No. So a new block is mined on average by a miner somewhere in the world every 10 minutes. Okay. Now, what happens is every 2 weeks in the Bitcoin blockchain, every 2 weeks, the Bitcoin blockchain readjusts itself. It readjusts. A person doesn't do it. Some dude doesn't clock up and go into work and like, I'm gonna readjust the Bitcoin blockchain today. My boss is getting on my ass. No, the software does it. So roughly every, because there's no such thing as like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month in the computer world. So the blockchain is it's every 2016 blocks, which in our world would be on average around 2 weeks. Okay, so write that down. Every 2016 blocks, the Bitcoin network pretty much goes through difficulty retargeting. Okay, these are advanced concepts. And don't worry, just watch and just, you got to get used to hearing this information, because you ain't never heard it before. And a year from now, you're going to be the one explaining this to people. Okay. So every 2 weeks, Bitcoin like pretty much chin checks itself. Go gets like a little STD test. You know what I'm saying? It goes to the clinic. You know what I'm saying? On itself. You know what I'm saying? So that's Bitcoin does. And what happens is the network looks at the last 2 weeks and it says, how often or how close were we of mining blocks every 10 minutes for the last 2 weeks? I hope that makes sense. So the network says itself, were we mining every 10 minutes for the last 2 weeks on average? You know? Now, and all right, let me get into it. When I say on average, that means sometimes blocks can be found within 6 minutes. Sometimes blocks can be found within 12 minutes. So on average, within the last 2 weeks, was it around 10 minutes? A new block was mined. Now, this is what happens. If the average block time was around 8 minutes and say 30 seconds, that means the network was finding blocks faster than they were supposed to, which means people were making more money, essentially, than they were supposed to, or sooner than they were supposed to. This is what it means. So what happens is that the network, the miners are trying to solve a very hard math problem. We'll get into that. It's called finding the odds. Now, if they've been finding blocks faster than 10 minutes, that means people are making easier money, right? What the network does is it turns up the difficulty of finding blocks. It turns up the difficulty of finding that math number. It makes it harder to solve, essentially. And we're going to get into that. Now, if the network difficulty, if they were finding blocks every 11 minutes and 30 seconds, that means they're taking too long to find the next block, which means people are making less money than they should be. That's what it means, essentially. But the network doesn't know that, but that's what it means when humans are involved, because we're incentivized. So what happens is if people are taking too long to find blocks, that means the math problem is too hard. We're talking about all the computers in the, like not all, but a lot of computers in the world, like top level, are finding very difficult to solve to find the next Bitcoin block. So it looks at it like every 2 weeks, it's like, damn, were we really doing our shit? Or was it making it too easy? Or was it making it too hard? So based on whatever the average time is for the last 2 weeks, the network adjusts the level of difficulty of the math problem. It is such a beautiful way of, because it balances itself out without having any human do it. It balances itself out, the network. So no one can ever really get over or get over on Bitcoin, because it has this very checks and balances. And no matter whether you're a trader, no matter whether you're a miner, no matter whether you're a node, no one can really get over or get by or take an advantage of Bitcoin, because it checks itself. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about the difficulty target. The difficulty target is that math number. So I call it a math number, but essentially what it is, if you break it down deeper, it's a guessing game. It's a guessing game. And the parameters have to fit very specifically. That's even more advanced with block headers and the previous hash and the Merkle roots, and that's even more advanced, but we're going to stick to this. So because I'm breaking it down. So it's essentially a guessing game. So people have to say like Bitcoin wastes a lot of energy. In some ways it does, but it's not about how the energy is used. It's about how the energy is generated. But that's a whole nother conversation. Like I'm probably going to do a renewable energy course, you know what I'm saying? And get into the science of renewable energies in order to make a profit. You're making a profit off free energy. You're printing money off free energy. I'm going to say it again. You are printing money off free energy. Does life get any better than that? Imagine the sun powering your mining rig, and you're printing you're printing your own digital decentralized currency. All right, that's deeper. That's deeper. So let's get back to this. So now the miners are trying to find a nonce. That's the term, a nonce. Nonce, I guess, nonce. And what that nonce is a very specific number, and you have to guess below the difficulty target, because if you guess over, then you don't solve. So you have to be right below, like perfectly fit, right? Essentially. And what uses a lot of energy is the amount of guesses your computer's trying to do. That's really what it is. It's submitting a number, and it says, no, that number's not going to work. So it goes and thinks again, submits another number, and it's like, nah, still doesn't work. So the more numbers you submit, the better chances and probability you have of actually finding that nonce, which means you would find the block, which means you would get the Bitcoin. Whew. Okay, so we're gonna break that down. Remind me to get back into that. So I want to, let's put it this way. I'm gonna cover this topic before I get into the block reward. Sometimes I feel like I should enable my chat, you know what I'm saying? Just so I can, like, you guys can remind me of what to talk about, you know, because I'll be smoking weed sometimes and it'd be going, you know what I'm saying? Thoughts be like all over the place. But I'm gonna give you a real life analogy of finding the difficulty target. So you got a bunch of niggas on the block. Excuse my French. So you got a bunch of niggas on the block, and you hand everybody 2 dice each. So you got about 10 dudes, 10, 12 dudes, right? Whatever. And you hand each dude 2 dice. You hand each dude 2 dice, right? And you say, yo, I'm gonna give you guys $100 right now. You know, you got 10 niggas with 2 dice, and I'm like, yo, whoever can roll this number, I'm gonna give you $100. So all the dudes are like, oh, for real? $100 like that? All I gotta do is roll a number? And I'm like, all right, so this is the number you gotta roll. This is the number you gotta roll. You gotta roll a 5 or less with those 2 dice. Those 2 dice, the first person to hit a 5, or you know what I'm saying, or less than a 5, with those 2 dice, gets $100. They get $100. So people are like, oh shit, that's all it takes. But you got 2 dice. So the maximum number you can have is 12, right? 6 and 6. But the lowest you can have is 2. Okay. So now you have different people with the same kind of probability you have. 2 dice, maximum potential is 12 because you got 6 and 6 on each dice. Lowest potential is 2 because you got 1 and 1 on each dice. That's the lowest number. So you're working between 2 and 12, but he gave you specific criteria. He said the first person to hit a 5 or less than pretty much hit a 5 with those 2 dice or 4 gets the $100. That's essentially how it is. So they start rolling. One person gets 11, one person gets a 12, one person gets a 6, one person. So the first person to hit a 5 hits the target like, yo, I hit a 3 and a 2. That first person out of those group of people pretty much gets the $100. He's like, yo, you got it because you're the first one to hit that target difficulty within these parameters, but everybody else had the same probability you had. You're the first one to do it. And so I would hand $100 to the guy who hit a 3 and a 2 first because it hit the target difficulty. So that's essentially kind of what mining is. And now check this out. So yeah, back it up. So it's a 5. It's not less than a 5. I back that up. The reason I said less than a 5 is because now once everybody starts hitting 5, it's too easy now. That's too much. They're making money too easy. So now I need to readjust. I need it. I need to make it a little bit more difficult for these people to hit that number. So now I say, hey, yo, the first person to hit a 3, remember, there's 10 dudes on the block. Each one has 2 dice, okay? The maximum number they can hit is a 12 because you can get 6 and 6 on each dice. Get it? The lowest number they can hit is a 2, because it's 1 and 1. So now I said 5. That makes it difficult. People got to keep rolling. But I said, yo, it's got to be a 3. So now people he's literally got to be a 1 on one dice and a 2 on the other. So now it's a little bit more difficult. People got to roll a little bit more and try a little bit harder, and they're all racing against each other to hit that 3. And once the first person do it, I hand them the $100, because so now I readjust it. So I made it harder. So now the next time I'm saying, yo, the new difficulty retargeting is about an 8. It's about, I raise it up. I raise the probability of finding it up. You feel me? So that's when I make it easier. So now people can roll less and have a better chance, but they're still in competition with each other to get that $100. So that's the incentivization. All miners are incentivized. What you get is called the block reward. The block reward is the Bitcoin. That's what you get for putting in the energy, because it takes energy for your computer to keep guessing and keep guessing and keep guessing. So, and it generates heat. It generates heat. Nothing comes for free. Nothing comes for free. Energy is the universal is the universal currency. Energy is the universal currency, because something's always given. Something's always being exchanged one way or another. Same thing with Bitcoin. You don't just get rich. No one just gets rich off Bitcoin. That's not how it works. Nothing valuable comes for free. Nothing valuable comes for free or comes for easy. Otherwise, it wouldn't be valuable. We're going to get into that scarcity and rarity. I can keep going. We're getting into it. All right. So now we understand that the difficulty retargeting means the network self-adjusts. It goes gets a checkup and see if it's still clean, if everything's still working right. And if it ain't working right, it readjusts. So the miners, so this is what makes it as far as profitability for the miners. When more miners join the network, the harder the math problem gets, because that's how the network readjusts. When more people are like, yo, I want to play this game too. Well, if everybody wants to play the game, you can't make it that easy because there's no more game. So now you got to make it real difficult, because the more computers that are trying to solve, the harder it gets. So that's how it adjusts itself too. No one can really get over on the Bitcoin network. So the more people that try to get Bitcoin by mining it, the harder it becomes. Now, the less people that leave it, say the price of Bitcoin starts crashing down, and people are like, no, this is not profitable anymore. They call it mining at a loss, where the longer your miner is on, it's actually costing you money, not making you money. So miners, depending on the hardware and whatever, in all types of jurisdictions and low cost of electricity, there's so many variables. That's why there's no just like one set way or answer of crypto mining. Like there's tons of variables. So the less people that stop mining, the more easy it is to make Bitcoin. So that's what happens with certain cryptocurrencies, is that when the price crashes, people are like, it's not worth it no more, and they move on or stop. And then the people who are still mining are like, oh, whoa, more for me. Oh, you leaving? Okay, I'll take that piece of cake. I'll take that cryptocurrency. I'll take your block reward. I'm not, because they're not spending any more energy than they're already doing based on their capabilities of their hardware. But the less people that are mining, they actually make more of a profit with the same amount of hardware and with the same amount of energy. So it's fun. Like it's a trip. It's a trip. Like it's definitely a trip. How this piece of software, this piece of code, and it's all, and what I'm saying, how it runs itself and it checks itself, and based on even the market, based on the market value of it, the people have to check themselves. So the software checks itself, and the people end up checking themselves because of the software. You know what I'm saying? It's deep, man. It's deep. So that's more the advanced concepts, because I need to get that out. Like if I'm going to be doing beginner stuff, that's fun and all. You know what I'm saying? Because I love helping people just get like their feet wet. You know what I'm saying? But when we start diving in the pool and start going scuba diving, you know what I'm saying, and looking around and checking things out, that's what I like to get into, is like the deep blockchain because I'm on my way to being a blockchain developer. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, like I'm creating my own blockchain, from scratch in C++, in C++. You know what I'm saying? Forking big. Like I'm going in some territories. I'm like trying to find help online from like developer people. Like, yo, I never do that. That's deep, bro. Like I don't even touch that. I'm like, yo, how do I do this? And people are like, whoa, you're going deep. I'm like, yeah, I'm going deep, bro. Like, what's up? Like, so give me some time and I'll, I'm gonna be a pretty in-depth blockchain developer, but I got a lot on my plate. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot on my plate. And Ethereum developer too. I challenge you to be a cryptocurrency developer. It's going to take some time, but it's a challenge. And life is more exciting with challenges. You know what I'm saying? And not just like challenges like I gotta go, but like when you actually are interested in something you've never done before, and you actually just go out and do it on your own, and you actually start getting it. Like life is worth living at that point when you find something that's challenging, but you're getting it and you're understanding and you're excited for the next day. All right. Much love. Aloha. Hit me up for the mentorship. For the crypto course if you want to check it out. And I like going deep into the advanced topics. So you'll be seeing these videos every now and then. All right. Take care. Peace.